Hey everybody, it's Dr. Craig Spodak and Dr. Peter Boulden, and welcome to another edition of the Bulletproof Dental Practice Podcast. We're excited to be here today and give a little bit of value back to dentistry. Dr. Boulden, you feeling pumped? I see your dog there.
Dude, it's going to be a special edition. I got Roscoe that wanted to come say hi. Today I have my beautiful mind whiteboards behind me. People look at them and think I'm a little wackadoodle, but this is where photography equipment, all sorts of stuff. I'm in in my junk room, so to speak. But
you're in the lab, as Dr. Dre would say.
Yeah, we're in the lab, but I'm feeling it, brother.
Good, man. I am too, man. So today's topic is all about what now? Give me that topic again that we got.
Well, how to have an impact on your teams, therefore you can impact your patients. Right.
So I love it.
How to build leverage in that aspect. And I think, you're really good at this, and you travel around the nation talking to people about kind of leadership and this isn't going to be so much on leadership, but we'll get into the niche of the impact. But you talk about how, some docs expect their team to act a certain way, but then they treat their team quite the contrary. Right.
Totally.
So it's setting a bad example, and things, like we always say, things kind of flow down. So let's talk about how your team being, the most valuable asset, and really treating them well and amping them up and supporting them can really work wonders for your practice.
Right. So for those of you who are just tuning in and listening to this, I know I can hear and feel the future eye rolls about this. Like, oh, this shit. Like, oh yeah, treating our team well, and yeah, that woo-woo crap. But I'm here to tell you it's sound ROI. That what you appreciates. And in dentistry, I know you're the only one that went to dental school if you're a solo doc, but your team has the capability to light up your practice and light up the ROI for you. So I get tagged a lot because I'm active in Facebook chat rooms and stuff like that. And there was one recent post that got like hundreds of comments. It was, SMH, I guess that's shake my head, right? SMH, how do I keep these damn girls off their cell phone all day long? I walk by and people are texting their kids, and I'm paying that. You're not being paid to text your family, you're paid to work. And then the comments were funny. It's like, well, what I do is I have my girls check in their phone in the morning. Oh, what I do is I'm building a Faraday cage to block their cell phone or jam their cell phone. And it was amazing.
For real?
Yeah. This is real, bro. This is real shit. I'm going to tag you on Facebook so you can read this. But this is what's out there, Peter. So it's this idea, like, I treat my girls, they're lucky to have a job, and these millennials, like, they don't even want to show up to work, and how dare they? I'm paying you. And it's a really big misrepresentation of the current state of the psychology of the now employee, the millennial, you want to call them, or people don't want to work just because you told them to shut up and work and sit down and grind it out. They want to have some sort of passion, purpose, and they want to feel secure and taken care of. And I'm reading an awesome book right now by Simon Sinek. Peter and I were having lunch in Vegas, what was that, 2 weeks ago today, or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago today, yeah. So we're having lunch. We're there for Cereal World, and in walks Simon Sinek. I was like a little girl seeing Justin Bieber. I ran over because I love that guy. He's amazing at what he stands for.
You're like, dude, I need a picture. I'm like, who?
Who do you see? Is there some hot actress? I'm like, no, it's Simon Sinek, bro. So we ran over and took a picture with him. But I'm reading his book, Leaders Eat Last. What a phenomenal freaking book. But Leaders Eat Last. It talks about leadership, and if you're the one who gives the most, invariably you're going to get the most as well long term. And you got to take care of your team, because in order for your patients to feel that vibe, that experience, that love that we all seek to give them in our offices, we want to provide that exceptional experience. Your team has to feel whole, safe, protected, and loved. Total woo-woo crap totally works. Totally freaking works. Mm-hmm. And there's a really relevant example. I'm going into sports, Peter, so you got to help me, bro. Don't make me say the wrong thing, because I don't know shit about sports. But I know there's a lot of controversy going on right now in the NFL, and I don't want to go there. I don't want to get political. But there's some dude, Deshaun something. Anyway, I don't know his name, but I heard about this cat. I'm sorry?
Well, who does he play for?
Oh, come on,
No.
bro.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
can help you out. There's
He
a lot
plays
of
for the Penguins. Okay. You happy? I don't know.
we're
The
talking
funny,
hockey now.
yeah, exactly. Well, the funny thing is I'm wearing my All-Star Smile shirt, which is the
Uh-huh.
charity I started with John Carlos Stanton. And the funny thing is he and I are, we talk a lot about the charity, and I'm like, hey, bro, I don't know crap about sports. And he just thinks it's so funny because everybody's always harassing these athletes about like this stuff. And I don't know shit about sports. But anyway, let's get back to the point. Deshaun Watson, comment, link, or maybe you could Google while we're talking. This cat, check out what this dude does. So in the midst of everybody taking a knee and doing passive resistance or whatever they're doing, I don't even know what they're doing. This dude is a rookie, gets his first paycheck, and maybe I might have the facts wrong, but I know the concept is right. Takes his first paycheck and he plays for somewhere in Texas and says, I am going to give my first paycheck. I'm a rookie. I don't have shit for money. I still got bills. I don't have my, iced out, whatever. This is my Garmin, but whatever, my iced out Rolly or whatever they have. I'm going to give my
Deshaun Jackson.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this cat,
Tampa, right? Signed with Tampa Bay Bucks. That's why you know about it. Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything about it, so don't ruin the flow. I'm just kidding. So he takes his check and gives it to the cafeteria workers of the stadium. His first check, his paycheck for a rookie. That is epic leadership. Your boy's got very little money. He's a rookie. He's not made it yet, but he's paying it forward. Let's talk about that for dentistry. Let's talk about how leaders eat last, how to be an epic leader, to give to your team, even when the giving hurts, will build value, loyalty, longevity, all that good juju that we talk about, and really fuel the crap out of your practice. It's sound principles. When companies decide to do things, instead of laying off 100 people, ask people to take furlough and ask people to come together as a team and get through a crisis together, how that builds long-term value for the organization and builds huge loyalty. We're coming off of a hurricane down here, and I'm deciding, even though it hurts like hell, because the profitability of our practice being closed for that many days is really, I got a big machine, so that really hurts. I'm deciding to pay people. I'm going to pay people for the time that they were not there. And that's a great example of leadership, leaders eating last. I'm going to give forward the goodwill that gives. I got people going on Facebook telling us how much they love their job, how much they care about it. The girls are stopping off at Publix, and people ask them, hey, where do I see you're in scrubs, you got a little logo on your scrubs, where do you work? And they enthusiastically say, you've got to come to this practice, versus I've got a job, work sucks, it's Monday, the Garfield poster that we love, Mondays, shake my head or whatever. That building the loyalty, the taking care of your team fuels economic growth. And it feels good. It feels so good.
You get me laughing on the Garfield poster.
I know, it's my little thing that goes to make you smile.
The Garfield picture and the ceiling tiles, it's like, floss your teeth.
Yeah, well, Peter and I talk about Facebook posts, and like if you're doing your Facebook and you're just putting up that Garfield picture with the foamy teeth,
not cool.
And it gets no likes and no value. That's not a good post.
Check your strategy.
Yeah.
Man, you do take it to another level, though, I have to say. And like some people just, they're not comfortable with that. Like you provide lunch for your team, and your team is massive.
Yeah, right? 52 people. We provide lunch every single day. Every day.
So, you feed people. That's the way of their heart. So that's why they love you, buddy. It's not because of anything else.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But
well, let's
talk about how a little bit more how that culture of how you treat them will transcend into patient care, because ultimately that's what we want. I mean, ultimately that's what we're concerned about, right? I mean, yes, we're concerned about our team and taking care of them. Obviously, they're part of your family. But let's talk about how that goes down to a business applicability, right? The bottom line, like how does that help the business do better in synergy?
Okay, so let's just take a hard-nosed business line on the feeding people, because you brought up the feeding people. So let's just take like a dentist out there that's like, I would never do anything unless I could prove a sound ROI. So let's take the providing meals for an example. Let's be totally selfish about this. If your girls don't, if there's a patient, yes, true. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's a problem being 47 years old, bro. 46 years old, man. I'm stuck in the
old school. You're like
old school,
you're grandpa.
People used to work hard back in the day. These ungrateful millennials with their Jay-Z and their hips swinging. Too much coffee. Anyway, so let's just take a hard line approach, and your girls and guys that work in your office, it's 11:55. They got a 12:45 patient. They haven't eaten yet. They're freaking out. They have to run out to Starbucks for like a sugary muffin or frappuccino. They consume 30 grams of sugar, snarf it down, come back, leave half of it on the table, and go right back to work. Are they going to be as productive, engaged, and taking the very best care of the patient that you really want? Are they going to be able to be fueled to build that service that you really want to have in your practice? Or let's say you spend, I mean, a meal cost could be as low as $3 or $4 if you're providing a big salad for everybody. We're not bringing in like Chipotle every day for $180.
Mm-hmm.
We are providing something. We have someone that comes in and prepares it. So the meal cost could be as little as, for my team, maybe $2 per person. And they can stop for 15, 20 minutes, properly fuel up, not have to leave the office. And they're probably sitting with other team members. Hey, did you ever do that thing? What about the FMX? What about that? Where are we at with our Invisalign goals? New patients, they're synergizing, they're working through lunch. So I didn't do it for that reason, but I found over time that productivity is going up. And they also, so it's a trifecta. It builds loyalty, lets them know I care about them, but it's also allowing more work to get done. So it's a no-brainer.
Well, I like it. And this isn't about lunches, this podcast, but in the same context, I actually asked my team when we started 15 years ago, I said, look, I don't think we should take lunch. I don't pay for lunch, but I said, I don't think we should take a lunch, right? Let's take 15 minutes and keep kind of rolling. And because I looked at studies of productivity and efficiency, and you can see that you actually, for an hour lunch break, you actually lose about 2 hours of productivity. Because
ramp it up and
ramp down and ramp back up, right? And so it's a half hour on either side of that. So in an 8-hour day, the meat and potatoes of it is 6 hours versus like, hey, let's not take a lunch hour and maybe do a 7-hour day and go home to our families. And that's, my team would never go back to an organized lunch period because there's just so much wasted time in that. But and I have provided it, as a bonus, Craig. I have to say that's a cool thing to kind of bonus the team with if you don't want to go to the levels that you're doing, which is kind of providing lunch every day. I have said, hey, if we hit X, Y, and Z goal or do something, like we'll do lunches for the month, right? And
awesome.
You feed someone and everyone loves a free, quote unquote, a metaphorical free lunch.
Yeah, but I mean, donuts or cookies or a fruit basket or calling up a food truck. I mean, dude, let's just say, like, I did a food truck once. We had this barbecue place come out and pull a food truck into our parking lot. You should have seen the amount of posting on Facebook and Instagram that went on from my team. That shit counts, man. I mean, talk about, like, let's get back to that first thing where, like, lock your phones in your locker at 8 a.m. and you'll get them at 5 p.m. and trying to control people. Got to remember, in this day and age, people don't want to be managed. Millennials don't want a boss. They want a coach. And if you're pissed off with your millennial workforce, and millennials, just so you understand, the people that were born from 1982 to like the mid 1990s. So 82, how old are they right now, Peter? 2007.
Like my wife, so they're 35.
Yeah, so the 35-year-old hygienist or 32-year-old hygienist or 30-year-old assistant you have, that's a millennial. Those are people that had like 15 or 20 trophies by the time they get to first grade, like best posture, they got awarded for everything. That was a product of this idea that if you just kudos people.
The cohort is 82 to 2004. Sorry.
So a lot of our workforce. So these are people that got praised for doing nothing. So they're like over coddled. It was a product of this environment that thought if we praise the shit out of people, they'll have high self-esteem. Little did we know they have actually less self-esteem. But these people are awesome. They're a huge segment of our demographic. They're a massive, massive generation. And they're really, really great employees as long as you change the game for them.
And probably the lion's share of the dental workforce in the nation right now, right?
Yep.
Even though people bellyache about like millennials. But I want to go back to something about the Faraday cage because I'm kind of blown away by this.
Yeah.
So what's so funny about that is that I was thinking, as you said, like, I'm going to build a Faraday cage or I'm going to take their phones. Like, that is the fastest damn way to lose a star employee you could ever think of. Like, holy cow. Like, doing something like that to someone and treating them like a child is the fastest way to lose awesome people.
Well, the person that wants to build that Faraday cage doesn't understand what an awesome person is. That person actually believes, if we delve into that dentist psychology, he's like, I'm the guy with the brain over here. I went to dental
It's
school.
the me show.
Sally, you're a freaking hygienist. It's the me show. Where did, hey, Sally comes up and says, why don't we change our new patient protocol because we're getting a lot of no-shows. Sally, where the hell did you go to dental school?
Right.
Exactly. I don't pay you to think, okay? And that used to work, and that could have worked back in the day. But now people will judge you by your hygienist. If they love your hygienist, they love you more.
So not only are you not doing a Faraday cage, you're the actually antithesis of that. And you're actually encouraging people. I am too now, thanks to you a little bit. You've kind of opened my eyes up to it. Encouraging people to actually use their cell phones all day long for posting stuff about pictures, or, is it a cool group photo or the lunch cafeteria? Because here's the thing is that they're doing it anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't control it. You can't control that shit.
Leverage it and reward
Yeah.
that behavior, because that's our society we live in. And I know we're going to get some, like, I don't know, hate mail or something on this, but, like, you know what? You cannot control it, but leverage it to your advantage. And you are a big proponent of that. But, it's crazy. Everyone's walking around with a camera and a video camera in their pocket, and the ability to post something to their social media and then take a selfie with a patient and, text it to me. Sorry. But, like, I love that mentality versus, like, the Faraday mentality.
Well, I mean, look at it. Your Facebook page doesn't exist your brand doesn't exist on your Atlanta Dental Spa, your Dr. Jones Facebook page. If your hygienist is really into what she does and she's connected socially, but she's taking pictures and checking in on Facebook, like, hey, it's me and Diane, or whatever. I remember I had this girl, Ashley, she worked for us for a little while and then moved. But when she was doing her working interview, I will routinely check out the Facebook pages of the people that are interviewing because I want to know who they are.
Yeah.
It's the best background check you could ever do.
Yeah.
So I remember she was doing a working interview, and I happened to check on our Facebook page, and our Facebook page shows on the newsfeed who's commenting. So check this out. She was interviewing, another girl was interviewing, but Ashley checked in and said, wish me luck at Spodak Dental Group, like checked in, geotagged us. Wish me luck. I got a working interview here today. I hope I get the job. So by the time I saw it, was like 3 o'clock. She had checked in at 8:30. By the time I saw it, she had like 50 comments, 150 likes, people commenting like, oh my God, do you do whitening? Hey, can you see me at 2 o'clock? So imagine that chick versus the other one that is not on Facebook. Imagine if that hygienist that's socially credible has a cancellation where at 11 o'clock her whole day falls apart. She has no more patients. And that chick gets online and hey, come check me out at blah, blah, blah. That's what we want. Everybody's talking about engagement of the workforce. The magic standard, the gold standard is to have an engaged workforce. What engagement means is that people that have their frickin' brain turned on while they're at work. Because if you look at statistics worldwide, sorry, I keep touching my eye at Twitch. I'm getting all hyped up. But if you look statistically, 80% of the workforce that's currently employed has a resume out and they're actively seeking another alternate job. 80% of the workforce is not happy and wants another job. That is freaking crazy, man. That means that 8 out of 10 people don't want to be working where you are. And if they don't want to be working where you are, they are not engaged, they are not turned on, they are not focused on what they're doing, they're just wasting time. And that is costing you money because you're paying them. So engagement is killing your practice, the lack of engagement. So if you can get people to turn their brains back on, to realize that they can actually have a thought, that they can actually implement an idea, that they control their destiny, that they could influence the way their day goes. That is engagement that will fuel the shit out of your practice versus, Sally, don't tell me how to answer the phones. Here's a script. Read the damn script. Versus, Sally, be human. Here's the goals. Okay. It's a results-based conversation though, man.
Be human, but here are some parameters that I'd really like you to follow.
Well, not even parameters. Go rogue is, well, no, listen, do you really, okay, but you didn't hear me out yet. Do you really care the process or the result? So imagine if you tell your admin team, and I love, by the way, how in dentist we call them front desk, we call people furniture, I need a new front desk. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And leg broke off the chair? No, she's moving to Milwaukee. Isn't that funny, by the way? You ever think about that?
You just brought it up. I know the staff thing gets brought up. Like, what? Staff's an illness. They're a team. And like,
staff's an infection, yeah. But
I
love the front desk.
I need
a new front desk. I was like, why is it the old school one where you have the glass? You want to redesign it? Here's a clipboard. So anyway, so imagine this. Imagine if you tell your admin team, I want to make sure that all of our patients are confirmed on Monday. Not just pink, like we call them, or whatever it is, like you've left a message, but actually green or whatever color you're using your practice management software, that they're all physically confirmed. And anybody that's not confirmed is off the schedule. Like everybody's confirmed. Do you really care the process that they get to that? Or do you really care the result? Because what'll happen oftentimes, if you're worried about the process is make sure everybody's called. Make sure everybody's called.
Right.
Or make sure they're called twice. Hey, doc, we called them all. Well, how come it's all pink? Well, we did the process. We really care about results, but we're insecure, so we want to control the process. So we want to mechanicalize, roboticize, or whatever we want to make. What am I trying to say? We're trying to protocolize, or I feel like we're trying to make the protocol more important than the result.
I hear what you're saying. I agree with that. Like you want some level of autonomy to just be results based, right?
Results based.
Like, sometimes you have to provide the parameters in which to do so.
You absolutely do. You absolutely do.
That's all I'm saying. And I do like a script and verbiage and kind of scenarios, because, and I don't like when I see people go too rogue off of that, because here's why. It's because that can be a very inefficient process, right? It should take 5 minutes to schedule a new patient when they call, right? It shouldn't be a 45-minute conversation, right? Because you just paid that front desk to do that, right? So that was an expensive that added to your acquisition cost. No, so scripting.
I just totally disagree, man. But it's all good.
Hey, that's cool that we're not clones of each other. I'm just
saying.
No,
I know we're not. I know.
I like efficiency and processes, and I do like the guardrails to be up. You like people to say, hey, you know what? We're all awesome. Just be awesome.
Well, let me use sound business principles on you. So we all know Zappos, right? Zappos.
Yes.
Zappos has a why they exist beyond making money is to be the greatest customer service company in the world. If you call Zappos does some crazy shit. So like in Zappos, you could like buy a dress, not you, I know you don't wear dresses, but your wife could buy a dress, wear it for like a month or two, and then return and get a full refund.
Right.
People exploit that shit. You can call Zappos, and there's a famous story in his book, Delivering Happiness. You can call them and say, hey, I live in Milwaukee. I want to order a pizza. And the Zappos phone person won't say to you, I don't have pizza. We don't sell pizza. They will try to find you a delivery service in Milwaukee to get you a pizza.
That's bull. I'm going to call and do that and be like, hey, can you give me
a pizza? Can we Zoom call this shit? Let's get the Zappos guy on. This is in the book.
I mean, just see if we can't like pull up a chat window of that and see.
Can we? Let's do it.
I don't think we can. We probably can, but like.
Well, just take it for the face value. I read the book and it's in there.
Sorry, your story. Keep going.
So the point is, and it's not a long story, but the point is they believe that by building the greatest customer service in the world, they will be the most iconic company. And Jeff Bezos of Amazon, obviously agreed, paid a ridiculous premium to buy Zappos for some crazy amount of money. And Amazon has now become like Zappos. I bought a garage door opening system from Amazon. It was like a $750 item. And I get it to my house and it doesn't work with my gates of my house. There's a mechanical gate opening system. I call them up, and the first time ever, I said, hey, I bought this thing, it's $800. I want to take it back. And I had to speak to someone. They said, Mr. Spodak, you've been a customer of ours for a long time. We're going to go ahead and credit your account, but don't bother sending it back because of logistics. Just keep it. Holy shit.
They do that all the time.
And guess where they learned that from, bro?
Their controller who said it's not worth our time to just I'm just kidding.
No, Zappos.
I got it.
Zappos.
All right.
So there is something iconic. And
put it back to dentistry. Like how is
okay? So let's just say your protocol is fairly scripted, and a patient calls up bullshit angry that they got charged $37 for fluoride treatment, and they said no one went over the $37, $32 fluoride charge with me. And the person on the phone's like, oh shit, where's the protocol for? Oh wait, hold on, Mr. Jones, let me get my manager. Versus, hey, Mr. Jones, I'm so sorry. We let you down. I'm so sorry we didn't tell you about it versus they, because every time you're talking they, us, like when your admin team talks about, well, they don't do this, and the clinical's like, they don't do that. It's all we. If you fail, I fail, you win, I win. So it's all the culture of we. So I'm sorry we let you down. We didn't tell you about that. I am going to go ahead and take care of that charge for you. You know, Florida is beneficial for you, but I'm going to go ahead and just take that off your bill
Or
right
like,
now.
why don't we split the difference? I
Or
like that.
whatever. Totally cool. But that's the parameters that you can give people to express their humanity. Everybody's becoming a goddamn robot now. I call companies for customer service, and I'm talking to a guy named Tim in the Philippines. His name is Todd. I know his name's not really Todd, but he's a robot. I'm like, Todd, I got a problem, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, sir. You know, blah, 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 blah. He's a freaking robot. And eventually he will be robotic. He will be a robot.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say I'm developing that, which you're really not going to like, the AI technology of chatbotting in dentistry right now. So
yeah, man,
you hate it.
I'm not feeling that.
All right, well, but guess what? People don't want to pick up the phone to use their cell phone anymore. They want to.
But when they, I get it. But when they do pick up the phone, Peter, when they hit a robot, they're pissed.
Right, but if they have to call to get a simple answer that a robot could have answered,
totally cool. I'm down.
God, I should have hit like pause and we could have like argued offline about this and come back on. But
we're not arguing. This is how we talk to each other.
Yeah, this is a true story. All right, so back bringing it back in. You like there'd be autonomy, you know, keeping a patient, keeping everybody happy, you know, finding the reasonableness in people, and you know, and taking a bad situation and making it a win for everybody, right?
Right.
But you're leveraging you're leveraging your team, the ability to be able to do that, which is cool, which is why you have raving reviews and such. But like, let's say someone's not comfortable with that level. I mean, is that a mandatory thing?
Well, let's talk about consumer behavior. Okay. So the dude gets kicked off the United Airlines flight a couple months ago, like gets his ass beaten, like literally dragged off the plane, right? That was a pretty transformational moment.
Bad PR day for United, right?
Yeah. Really bad PR day. It's the same thing as like being really, really harsh about your $37 fluoride charge. It's the same thing, or someone upset about something pretty minuscule. So let's look at what happened. Hurricane Irma just rolled through here, and companies learned quick. AT&T, I mean, I'm not, you know, big fan, not a fan, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's a neutral, I have a neutral feeling on them. Right. They send out a text message to everybody. All your data overage charges through the hurricane are waived. Not FPL, Bank of America sends out another robocall. All overdraft charges are waived. Everybody's coming ahead and saying, hey, we're not only your bank, we're not only your cell phone provider, we care about you as a human being. So regardless of whether you're eating this shit up or you think this is BS, this is the new consumer.
But that's easy in a micro, right? We're talking a macro, day in, day out. Like that's an easy thing to be like, hey, we're going to waive all this for 30 days. Like, right.
But the point of what I'm saying is this stuff didn't exist a year ago.
Okay.
So if you're playing, your ground game has to change, because when the bank calls you and says, we're going to wear the white hat, and even though you might not have, we didn't have freaking power, bro. So what does the overdraft charge have to do with that? The bank is stepping up and saying, we want to waive your charges. So now in the context of the consumer mind, if you're going to pull a United Airlines type thing, I'm not saying you're going to beat someone's ass because they didn't pay your bill, but you have to be more conscious of it because the consumer's changing. I mean, Starbucks changed the ground game. Coffee before Starbucks was a 40-cent cup of Joe at a little diner. Now they come out with the Frappadappuccino and the $2.50, the $4 cappuccino, Michael Bublé CD and a leather couch. They shifted. They flipped the script on us. Right. So it's the same thing.
So the script is shifting in all of consumer.
Totally.
And Amazon is driving a lot of that. Starbucks is driving a lot of that. So the landscape is changing. We can either adapt or die. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So if you thought this was a bunch of malarkey for the practice of that you had five
on that. Adapt or die. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just kidding.
Sorry. Mic drop.
Go back to
but it's true, man. It's totally true. So we have to see that the landscape's shifting. We have a different type of person in the workforce, the millennial, who, as long as they have a reason to work, they have a purpose for work beyond making money. They don't care about money that much. They're not the boomer generation. They don't care about that. They care about equality and rights and
experience
and doing and
purpose,
giving purpose. So just recognize the landscape has shifted, the consumer mentality's changed, and it's not our fault. All the other retail outlets that have changed the things for us, and the workforce has changed. So it is an adapt or die. It really is, man.
You know what's super refreshing about this, actually, as you say this, is like, as dentists, I feel like we get this, like, God, it's all on me to make this great, and like, it's this practice fails, or like, I got to grow this by my. You have like all this stuff on the weight of your shoulders, right? And if you switch that to what you're kind of saying and saying, hey, this is our village. It takes a village. Like, let's all divide and conquer in whatever we're doing today. And right. And it's not the Craig show. It's not the Dr. Spodak show. Right. And you really believe that in your mind, and you're leveraging your team to create that amazing experience effortlessly.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's effortless because it's not just you driving all of this all the time.
Well, it's engagement and alignment. It's people, most people show up to the work, and they show up at 8:30 when your office opens. They leave their brain inside their car, and they show up as a body only. And that's what the factory wanted. So all the business books that were all written around the factory model, the turn of the century, end of the history lesson. I know. Stop busting my ball. So it presumes that the average laborer is stupid or dumb, and lazy. They're like bulls. So here's the bell. At this point, you screw the little nut onto the bolt, and then you move it down the road. Dentistry is service. We're not making a product. So we can't make this product and pull it off the assembly line. That was a bad one. This is a good one. We're not like the Laverne and Shirley pulling off the bad things off the conveyor belt. We are making an experience. An experience is live. So before they get to see the wizardry of your dentistry, they call your office. If the guy comes off as being unattached or not caring, they don't like your dentistry. You won't have a chance to get up at bat. That's the reality of it. Yep. So for every dentist out there that's like, it's the Dr. Jones show, and I'm the only one that matters, your dentistry is a perceived value based on the value you provide to the customer. And the person that adds the most value wins. So if you're obsessed with adding value to your patient, you're going to win in this game. That's it.
Yeah. I can't argue with that. I agree with you on that 100%.
And if that's
strategies to get there, right?
Right. But if you're obsessed with adding value, you want to make your patients feel valued, the team has to feel valued in order for that to happen. Because if you're throwing your instruments at your hygienist, you're losing your cool on your team.
Yeah, it's no longer optional. Like, it used to be like, oh, I just want to be, it's no longer optional. So just like you said, if you really only want to do dentistry and that's your craft, and like you want to do more of that, then you have to amplify the stuff that helps open that funnel to get there, right? And that's kind of what you're saying, I'm sure. And it comes organically to you because that's just your personality. But some of us are more introverted. It's just harder to do that, right?
And I think I have a big dose of I want to be liked, which is to a fault. Like, I want to be liked so much, that's one of my
something to social media and then check how many likes you get.
Oh, dude, who doesn't do that? Gives you a serotonin hit. Read the book by Simon Sinek, Eat Leaders Eat Last. He talks about us being all chemically addicted to dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. Yeah. It's all social credibility. We're tribal animals. We want to be part of a tribe. We all want to be liked, all of us. And if you don't think you do, you're just bullshitting. But I mean, to some more than others. But I had a really interesting.
We all want to belong, right?
We all want to belong.
Right.
That's what I mean by being liked. But I want to bring up one small example too. Yesterday I had a very interesting thing. My assistant, Michelle, she had no lunch break. She couldn't even eat the lunch I provided. She was working, hustling so hard. And at the end of the day, we're really sarcastic with each other. That's my sense of humor. She's like, I had an awesome day today. I was like, you joking? You bullshitting? Like you didn't take a lunch. She's like, no, I'm serious. She worked her tail off, but we did so much dentistry that made people feel good. We got hugs and got all this stuff. She's like, it was so rewarding. I love doing this. So when one of your employees looks at you and says, I love my job, that is money.
What day was that?
That was yesterday. What was the day I sent you the video? It was Wednesday, yeah.
That's so weird. I had the exact same thing happen with my assistant.
What was the day I sent the video?
Wednesday.
Yeah, and then you went on social media and you said.
I posted a case, but literally we had the hardest day of I've done in a while. I had to do under sedation 24 teeth in a sitting, right? Prep 24 teeth. And it was a 6-hour prep. It was a hard prep, a lot of stuff. And literally at the end of the day, you know, my assistant kind of said the same thing. That was a good day. I'm like, we got crushed today. Like, it was exhausting, but you're right. It was very fulfilling because we were helping, you know, this was treatment for a cancer survivor. And this was the last stage of something they were doing. And it was an emotional day. So, you know, I know we're going on a tangent here, but we're super.
No, we're not. No, we're
We're
not. This is
super
right up.
blessed
This
to be
is
in that
it.
situation to offer differences to people, and, you know, and whether it's our employees, your team members, or your patients. But I dig it, man. I dig it.
Yeah, I mean, to be of service, you're talking about being of service. And that's the magic of fulfillment, to be of service, to not think about yourself, but think about other people. It doesn't matter if you're in service to your patient or service to your team member, it all feeds fulfillment. It's good for your soul to be good to people. And whether you're taking good care of a patient or just treating a team member, a new team member that's nervous or doesn't feel like she belongs or he belongs, and mentoring them to be more and do more for themselves. It's really cool stuff. And we are so freaking blessed that we have a profession that is actually good for people. A lot of people have to sell bullshit to make money. A lot of people are selling, you know, they don't feel like they're selling bullshit, but they're selling bullshit. They're selling, like, you know, vacation rental, and it doesn't really, the pictures are pretty, but the vacation rental is not that nice, and they have to sell it. Everything we sell in dentistry, everything we convince a patient to do, and is good for them.
Yeah, and can be backed up with, like, with true value. All right, I know you have a hard stop. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, man.
Again, two quick things. We're going to talk about, again, the GOT Summit is coming up. It's November 29th or 30th. Did you say it was?
Yes, November 30th in Dallas. I was also pointing about this too.
Your All Star Smiles, right? That's your charity. Cool. Check out All Star Smiles.
allstarsmiles.org. We're needing dentists to sign up for that. That's me and John Carlos Stanton formed a partnership to eradicate children's dental disease. The number one reason why a child will miss school, the number one reason why a child will go to the emergency room, is because they have dental pain, and that's in this country, in a modern day first world country.
That's a Florida thing. You have to have a Florida license to come help, though, right?
No, sir. Thank you for asking that. It's a national event. So if you're willing to open up your office for one day during February, during Children's Dental Health Awareness Month, just check out allstarsmiles.org and click the Get Involved tab and jump on our bandwagon. We could get a professional athlete out to see you, which would be really cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then please talk about the summit. That's awesome.
Yep. Well,
especially if you like this stuff.
Right. There's going to be more of this. Get Off the Treadmill Summit, basically talking about how to not build a bigger treadmill, but scaling your life, scaling your business with balance, right? And creating that true balance that people kind of speak of. And it's not about creating a bigger machine to create the bigger treadmill to be more stressed out. It's really creating kind of reverse engineering what you want your life to look like. Yeah. So that's why I'm a big fan of it. Because I spoke in, either lectures or whatever in podcast, how, like, when you have a crisis, you basically you get a chance to, in 2015, I kind of had to re-engineer my life because it was just shitty and it wasn't what I wanted in perpetuity. So I resonate with what the GOT Summit teaches, and I'm definitely going to be there this year, either as speaking or attending, one of the two, but I'm definitely
absolutely speaking.
So that's it. As always, review us if you liked it. And until next time, over and out.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Peter. Cool.